and welcome to another episode of The Walk. My name's Gareth and I'm joined by my wife Gemma. It's only taken 204 episodes to drag her out on a stomp, but we've picked a good one. We're in the Goyt Valley, the stunning Goyt Valley in Derbyshire, and we're here to look at the remains of the Errwood Estate. Now this was built by the very wealthy Grimshaw family in the 1830s, but it only lasted 100 years. A massive area, 2,000 acres, with a massive hall, with a coal mine, with a massive burial chapel and all sorts going on. But in 1934, it was decimated by a reservoir. Having said that, there's still plenty to see. Okay, so before we start, this is Google Maps, so this is looking at the area from above, and you can just see this is where those different things are. There was some farms, there was a school, there was a pub, there was a coal mine, a burial chapel, and then that enormous hall built in this 2,000 acres. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to go from each of those locations and see what remains we can find. Okay, so we're walking down. As you can see, water plays a big role around here. Now, where I'm pointing this, basically there, was a farm. One of many farms that were on this big, huge estate. And down there was a coal mine. Now in the 1930s, that coal mine washed away. I'd like to claim this is my research, but it isn't, is it, Gemma? No. It's this guy's. We chatted to this wonderful gentleman here, and he's told us loads of history. So the coal mine, if you look at these photos, was literally right down there. Part of the estate, but was washed away in a massive flood in 1930. But photos bring it to life, right? Okay, I'm following the doggy. So this is a gatehouse for the farm then?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
this is the cottage that the coal miners manager used.
So there was a coal mining cottage here?
Yeah.
Amazing, okay.
And you went down there, but you can't get there.
No, so down there is where the colliery was, and that's all washed away?
Yeah. This is the cottage, part of it.
Right.
That's the back wall there. That's the backyard there.
Wow.
And basically it faces that way.
Got ya. Oh, mate. You just wouldn't know, would you? Just a pile of stones, but...
Rough rubbish, but yeah, it wasn't a pile of rough rubbish in 1920s.
I'll leave Steve chatting away to Gemma. What a lovely bloke. He showed me some pictures on his phone, actually. This is the picture of the cottage back there. Now you see this lady here. I'm just going to circle this lady. Okay. Now this was dug out by Steve, wasn't it? It was all filled in. You dug it out.
Yeah, it was completely full of mud and weeds.
I'm going to try and recreate that photo. You said I've got to try and get lower. So that girl there in this photo is the girl from the cottage, but younger. The photos are unbelievable, aren't they, in terms of bringing this back to life. So we're going to walk around now. Obviously we were pointing out on Google Maps where each piece of this is. We're now going to walk up and try and find this burial ground, and once we've found that, then we'll continue on to the house itself. Okay, so we're walking up the hill. I'm pretty sure the burial ground is going to be up there. They would generally pick high areas for those. So, Errwood Hall. Samuel Grimshaw the First was a very wealthy merchant in Manchester, and he had a son by the same name, imaginatively, Samuel Grimshaw II, and he obviously inherited all the money, but then he went and married a woman called Anne, and what that married him into was something called the Pit Club. Now the Pit Club still exists now. It's nothing to do with coal mining. It's basically where you get lots of wealthy people from, you know, Oxford University or Cambridge University or whatever, and they would meet up. And I think, to be honest, they would sort of scratch each other's backs in terms of business and deals and things like that. And so he went from being a son of a very wealthy merchant to being seriously wealthy, to the point where he could open a 2,000 acre estate with a school and a pub and a coal mine and an enormous hall and everything else. So we've been stomping up the hill. The hill didn't feel like it was going to end, to be honest, so now we're quite high. I mean, the Goyt Valley's stunning. You're all right and all. But there we go, there's the burial ground. Now, Errwood Hall, which we're going to come to at the end, was passed down through the generations of the Grimshaw family, never went out the family. But when Mary Grimshaw died in 1934, she had no descendants, so that was the end of it. And they basically put a compulsory purchase order on all of this area so they could build this massive reservoir. There we go, Samuel Grimshaw, died 1883.
That's why he gets the one on the big hill.
Yeah, well, he's the Don, isn't he? So that's the big dude. So he's the guy that built this then in the 1830s. And here's, although these are, what are these? These are Braddocks then. So these are different. I expected them all to be Grimshaw, but they're Braddocks, Butler. Maybe these were people that worked on the estate then. Maybe these are not so much the descendants of the big dog as much.
Like, what's that symbol in the middle of those?
Oh yeah. I'm not sure. Not sure at all. I'll have a hunt for that. Right, so we're going to have a stomp down now and find the remains of Errwood Hall. Now, if you just look at these pictures of what it looked like, it was mega grand. It was an amazing looking place. And as I say, it stayed in the family for 100 years. I might be on a bit of a goosey here, but I'm just going to keep walking. You're used to me going on goosies, aren't you?
Yeah. When is it not a goosey when I'm with you?
This is true. Goosey, for people around the world, is an abbreviated way of saying wild goose chase. But look at the views. Oh mate, the Goyt Valley is amazing. It really is. Now back there then, that's where we started, just down in that dip. That's where you had that beautiful little cottage and the coal mine. Are you hiding to jump out at me? She finds it ever so funny to jump out at me. Yet when I try and do it in reverse, it never quite goes to plan, unfortunately. Now this whole area is lots of beautiful walking paths and stuff like that. You can park up down by the reservoir, and for some reason we've basically, I say we, I've nearly fell over then, and I've picked the most, like, I'm crouching. We could literally have been walking, like I say, on a really nice path. But where's the fun in that? Although these are cool, aren't they? To be fair, these trees look pretty epic.
They're like veins.
Yeah, they are a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah,
okay,
veins.
right. I mean, yeah, it's just becoming more of a goosey, isn't it? To be honest.
That looks like a little bit like
Yeah, let's go. Right. This is getting a bit silly now. I could have just gone on a path.
Good.
But this way might mean that we're going to discover something that we wouldn't have discovered otherwise, Gemma.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Jeez, I nearly blasphemed then, so I edited myself so as not to offend. There's quite a lot of stonework, to be fair though, Gem. Like, obviously all these trees are, you know, pretty serious. I think we're literally at the house, mate. Yeah. Right, look at that.
So, we'd make great robbers back in the day.
We would, we could have snuck in and robbed them blind. Now, speaking of criminality, this area is all open now, so we can go and explore it, so that's amazing. But it's only just reopened in sort of the last 6 months. It was closed, I think, for like 2 years. Huge fences and stuff, because people kept coming here and basically, you know, trashing it, which is, you know, a bit grim. I don't know why they're doing that, but as I understand it, there was, you know, quite a big memorial here for a teacher who was a wealthy aristocrat who came and taught at the school on the estate and died. I don't know how she died, but she died. And so they built this shrine. Apparently she died at Lourdes, which I think is in France, isn't it? It's a religious site. And so apparently people were coming and performing ceremonies here on the estate. So there's some stonework there. Now I don't know how much these are just random stones or whether they're part of something, because you're in the house.
I am.
You've broken in. So it looks like there would have been like almost like a little moat around the side, but I don't know if that's just because they've chucked a load of spoil and rock. But we're in the house, and there you go. I was talking about fires. Someone's had a fire there and all.
There must have been like a hell of view there, because you got 4 big, which I'm assuming are windows.
Yeah, they're windows, all right. Yeah, you're right. They would have faced that way for whatever reason. I imagine the view, but through there, you get back down to the water, to the little brook that's flying down from where the coal mine was. So, I guess these would be steps down into a room. So I'm going to climb out here, folks, so I can just show you the outside of it. Some steps there as well going up. Now there you go, look at that.
Welcome to my crib.
Right, it's a hell of a crib. That's amazing. Now the reservoir, I'll just climb back in now. They used a lot of the stonework that they took from this house to build the structures there, in terms of like the pump house and stuff like that. Because as soon as they, purchased this area, they just decimated it. And actually, down where that reservoir is, there's 2 farms that were knocked down and flooded out. So it's interesting to try and work out. Like, you can see the footprint from above, from the drone footage, the shape of it, but it's trying to work out what room is what. Now, you think this is the entrance here, don't you, Jim?
Yeah, I think so. It's got like, you can see like the.
Well, there's the door, yeah. But also the dead giveaway is the crest.
Yeah.
So there's the family crest, the Grimshaw crest, then, one would imagine.
Is that like half of it?
No, I think that probably is it. I'll tell you what is here though. That's the doorbell.
Is it actually?
That would be the doorbell.
The door, then.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, like?
I assume, or it could be the lock, the clasp. But I think, yeah, I think maybe some wires could have gone through there.
Wires?
I could be well off.
Wires?
They had wires in the 1930s. It would have done, wouldn't they? Yeah. They still lived here up until Mary died in 1934, I think. So.
That's some pretty harsh ruins in that short period of time.
Well, they knocked it down
Oh.
to use it to reuse the stonework and stuff for buildings in the reservoir. So unbelievable building. It's huge. It would have been huge. Now, you said something about you'd seen there was a sink here or something.
Well, I don't know if it's a sink, but it looks like there's like a tube where the water would have come out, and what looks like a sink, but I'm not sure. It's in the trees.
Right, let's go and have a look then. Now, I'm going to have to go off old photos on this in terms of what this would have looked like. I mean, it's epic. I mean, there's a little ramp, what looks like a little ramp area. Maybe that would have gone into the house as well. Yeah. It's huge though.
I'm assuming this is still inside the house, like even all this bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, could this have been stables?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that thing in there is to wash and feed, like.
Well, these are pillars. So these would have been pillars coming up. This would have been drainage, like a trough. So, a shower room of sorts, but I mean, I'm just blagging this, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, but my, viewers of the channel will be used to that. Okay. So this is all stonework here. This would have been an enormous site. And it's hard to judge, ladies and gentlemen, where it's overgrown. Because obviously all these trees have come later. This would have been, oh wow. Yeah, what's going on here, mate?
Well,
Ow!
I think it's like, obviously there's the pipe to collect the water.
I think that's for the animals, mate.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe not. Maybe that's just...
Look at that.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, don't go under it.
No.
That's collecting... That's that's collecting water off the hills then. Filling that up. You're coming out, getting the water. Yeah. So it wouldn't have had a mains water supply. Well, of course it wouldn't. Not going all the way back then. And I don't see how you would get one. Now, something you asked earlier, Gemma, was... I've forgotten. I haven't really. I'm only joking. No, you asked if there was a cellar, and there would have been, surely. You would think, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. You'd need wine.
Yeah, you'd need wine. But there doesn't seem to be any sign of a cellar here, but that doesn't mean they've not just filled it in. So that's us, the remarkable remains of Errwood Hall. I enjoyed that, darling.
Yeah, thank you. A good stroll.
A good stroll. Gemma asked a really good question, which is why did they knock it down? That's a really good question. I understand why they took the farms out and stuff like that to build this reservoir. But even with the reservoir there, as you can see, there's no reason why you'd knock down the hall. Why not keep it? Because it was a really, really beautiful building. But I guess with no heirs, no Grimshaws left, it would have fallen into disrepair anyway, maybe, who knows. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And as always, I'll see you next time. See you later, darling.
Goodbye.